change your life by changing the thoughts that go through your mind on the moment to moment basis. It's called being mindful of your thoughts. Think about, what am I thinking about right now, and why am I thinking about these things? This is one sure way that we can change our life and turn it in the direction that we would rather it go in, opposed to us being miserable on the regular basis. A lot of people just live in misery, and it's sad because we just think that we are victims of circumstances on a constant basis. But the circumstances that you live in are the ones that you create for yourself, and those things begin with the thoughts that go through your mind on a regular basis. We don't connect these things, but it's true. That's just how life goes. So I'm here to motivate you. I'm here to encourage you. I'm here to help you lift yourself out of dark places, show you that there is light at the end of your tunnel. That is the point of me being a motivational speaker. That is the point of me delivering life lessons, so someone may take these things and use them, apply these things to their life. That's one reason why I get so excited about my life lessons, because I apply these things on the regular basis. I really do. The things that I have learned just preparing these life lessons, I apply them. So it's different when you literally try these things. Once you learn something, you can't unlearn it. So when I come into situations or encounters with different people or whatever, I think about that thing that I have learned, that thing that I have taught myself. So are you able to teach yourself something today? Are you able to live off of whatever philosophy that you have conquered up in your own life experiences that you can refer back to and say, I don't want to continue to make the same mistakes that I have made before in my past. I want to make some new mistakes on a higher level. There's so much life out here waiting for you. And some of us just keep ramming our heads into the same brick wall over and over and over and over and over again. You look like a fool at this point if you are continuing to go through the same thing with the same people year after year and nothing has changed in your life. And even if it's not the same, some people's lives take a freaking nosedive. Like, your life just has gotten drastically worse over the years. I know I'm not talking to everybody. I know we got some people out here that like to learn from their mistakes, but I know that there are some people out here that continue to live in suffering on the regular basis, and that can be for whatever reason. That could be as far as your health is concerned, your physical health, your mental health, your financial health, your relationships, you dealing with the wrong people on the regular basis. All of these things, the decisions that we make play a major role in where our life is today. We think that it is just one thing that has gone wrong that has everything to do with why our lives may not be the way that we want them to be, but it's everything that you do. The smallest decisions that you make on the regular basis is going to have a major impact on what your life looks like on the everyday basis. So it's time for us to start begin to pick some of those things apart, make wiser decisions for ourselves, and create the life that we really want for ourselves. That's my purpose. See, I had to break down my purpose for you guys today, because I believe that there is very much purpose in my life. I had to come to the point where God revealed to me what He wants me to do in my life, and I just want to shine a little bit of light that someone's life may be blessed. So before we jump into this week's life lesson, let us take this opportunity to count our blessings. God is good and we are blessed. So in turn, we should be grateful. We should acknowledge that. Don't just sit there and soak up your blessings like a dirty sponge and not be able to say thank you. We have to be able to say thank you for where we are on the regular basis. I'm telling you, that is literally how you break the door wide open in order for you to receive many more blessings in your life. That's just like you with your kids. You got two kids, and you got one that knows how to be grateful for things every time that you give your kids whatever you give them, and you got one that always likes to grumble and complain and act like what you give them is never enough. You are going to, not that you have favorites or you love one child more than you love the other one, but it feels good when your child is showing gratitude. So you are going to want to give to the one who knows how to express gratitude. That is God with us. God is going to want to bless us more when we get in the habit of expressing gratitude on the regular basis. There is no giving like the giving of God. We can't even compare to the gifts and the giving that God gives us on the regular basis. So we are going to take advantage just a few moments to just think about, just cram in there for at least 3.5 to 5 seconds the things that you are most grateful for in this moment, just right here in this moment. I want you to center yourself. Don't think about whoever did whatever to get on your nerves since you woke up this morning, or who you went to bed arguing with last night, and all of those kind of things. Get rid of all the junk, and I want you to be able to completely consume yourself, like jump in the tub of gratefulness, like get in there and swish around a little bit. I want you to be able to feel your blessings, because your blessings are all around you, and I guarantee you 100% for sure that you are more blessed than you even realize. So here we go. That is always, 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 always so wonderful for me. I can literally feel the vibrations inside of me rising. I feel myself getting better. I feel myself feeling better every time I allow myself to be consumed in gratefulness. So here we go. I am geeked up about this life lesson this week. God gave it to me. Let me tell you how I just really did not even know what this week's life lesson is going to be about. Sometimes God confirms things through people, through messages, through experiences, and God lets me know in plain sight, like way ahead of time, what he wants me to deliver to his people. But with this message, God did not reveal it to me like right up into the moment where I'm like, I have the pen and paper in my hand and I don't even know what I'm going to write down on this piece of paper. I was like, I have no clue. I'm walking around. I try to be proactive in preparing my messages and just picking up messages throughout my daily living. And I felt like God was not revealing anything to me. So it's going through my mind. What are you going to prepare a message about? And I was like, I don't know, but I trust God in all things. And I know that God is going to give me something to give to his people. And when you trust God in all things, God will give you what you need when you need it. So I'm so glad that I have that frame of mind. And God gave me individuality today. God gave it to me plain as day. It was so like right up until the time I'm like, look, God, I'm busy. I had a busy day. I'm tired. I know I need to prepare this life lesson. Do you not want me to prepare a life lesson? And God was like, no, you're going to prepare a life lesson. You are going to deliver a life lesson this week. And I'm like, well, what is this life lesson going to be? So I'm just like relaxing. My day is winding down. I'm having dinner and bam, he slapped me right in my face with it, individuality. So then when I thought about it, He did reveal it to me. Like, God revealed it to me in different ways. And I feel like just even at the last moment, I was like, okay, now this is why you allowed me to see and experience and hear certain things that I have saw and heard and experienced within these last recent, I don't know, days, weeks, months, or whatever. And I know that individuality is something that people struggle with so often. We have so many carbon copies. So many people do things just because other people are doing it. When I tell you, that makes me nauseous. I cannot stand that. I always been different. I always love being who I am, even when I was frowned upon. Why you look like that? Why you wearing your hair like that? Why you dress like that? Even people, in my own family, like, you wearing this and everybody else is wearing that, or this is the fad now. And I'm like, I don't care. I never owned a pair of Timberlands a day in my life, never. And like just things like that, like the fad and what everybody else is doing and all of those type of things. Like, I will deliberately not do something just because everyone else is doing it. So I've always been the type of person that just went my own way and just did my own thing, no matter what that may be, or what people look at me for being different, weird, or whisper behind my back, or even said it to my face, like, you just weird. I don't care. This is who I am. And when you allow to accept yourself, self-acceptance is huge. And a lot of people don't take time out to accept themselves for who they are. People are not comfortable with who they are. People are not comfortable with the color of their skin, or even the sound of their voice, or whatever, their facial features, or whatever. But you are uniquely you, and God has made you who you are and how you are for whatever purpose that he had behind that. And I think that we lack of individualism and individuality, so much so that it has become normal for everyone to just do something because everybody else is doing it. Listen, I am going to try to stay in my seat, because Lord, please help me. I was like, wow. And then sometimes when I get these messages, I'm like, I feel like this is a message that I probably should have prepared and delivered like a freaking year ago or something like that. But I believe in the timing of what God wants me to deliver. So, this is a perfect time. Someone may need to hear this message on individuality. I know me personally, I needed it for myself. Even though I am a person who loves to embrace my own individuality, I still want to receive this message wholeheartedly, open, just so empty-headedness. Just fill me up with whatever you have to give me in this moment, please, God, because I want to make room for more of whatever I need. I don't think I know everything. Yes, I do believe that I am a very unique person, but I still want to get something out of this message. So come on in here. Listen, I hope that it does for someone else with this message, even being the person that prepared this message. I hope it does for someone else what this message has done for me. So individuality. Individuality is what makes us different and unique. It makes us who we are. We are not the same. We just aren't. We were not born the same. No two people, I don't care if it's Siamese twins, identical twins. I am an identical twin. And so often in our lives, well, people never said our names separate. They always said both of our names at the same time. Sarah and Sakara. Sakara and Sarah. Like, no, if one of us did something, it was both of us. And that is probably what made me want to be so unique growing up because we dressed just alike for the majority of our life with us growing up as a child. My father and my stepmother, they treated us like doll babies. They took us to the store, bought everything the same. And people just made light of it. Like, I don't know which one you are. You look so much alike. And people just thought it was so funny that, I mean, I guess it's amazing to look at two people that look just alike and you can't tell one from the other. But for us experiencing it, you don't want to be seen as two people all the time. I am one person. I am one person. If I do something to offend someone or wherever, I don't want my twin to be blamed for it. And if she does something to offend someone or commits a crime or whatever, I don't want the judge to slam the gavel at both of us when she's the one that did it. And that's just what it felt like growing up. There was really no individuality because we look much different now than we did growing up. We literally look like if I walked out the door and she walked in, you would think your mom was playing tricks on you. Like, am I looking at the same person or what? Like, that's how much we look alike. It was like creepy. So I understand how it might have freaked some people out. And a lot of people that knew, who we were, who our parents were, and it was always the twins, the twins. There's no individuality in that. So as soon as I was able to break away from that, and I guess it was like mid-high school, I became a hairdresser, and I was really good at it. I made a lot of money doing hair, like the end of middle school, beginning of high school, probably all through high school. I had some of the same customers that came to me every 2 weeks and things like that. And I began to do my own hair and I began to dress different. So that was my opportunity to get my own individuality, where I just felt as though I didn't have to wear the same hairstyle as her anymore, or wear the same clothes as her anymore. And then people really saw the difference within us. And even though we do look just alike, she's always been slightly heavier. Her weight has always been heavier than mine anyway. So then people begin to determine who from who by looking at our weight. But that was like stressful on so many levels. And I know people probably still look at us like them. Whoever, I don't care. I don't let it bother me, but I'm just so glad that I allow myself to embrace the individuality within myself. Maybe this is why God allowed me to prepare this message, because even preparing this message last night, I really didn't even think about the individuality with me being an identical twin. I love my twin dearly. Shout out to you. But I didn't even really think about it, how hard I had to work to even find individuality within myself, because I always been two people. I've never been one person. So it was just amazing for me to step outside of being two people and learn how to be my own individual self. I just took that and went crazy with it the first opportunity that I got. So maybe that is why this message hits so close to home for me. So our personality, our beliefs, our values, our experiences, and everything in between, and makes us who we are. That is what individuality is. And it's not doing what you see everyone else doing. And it's okay to step outside of what everyone else is doing, or the so-called norms of society, and be who you are as an individual. You don't have to believe in anything. I don't care if it's religion or what your parents or your whole family might have believed in, a certain religion or a certain way to fry chicken or whatever. And this is just how people have been doing it in my family for 50 years. And you feel like you have to do it the same. You don't. You can find your own unique way of doing something, and you can embrace that. I like it better this way. I like my chicken baked better. I don't have to deep fry chicken all the time because my family is from the South and this is just how we do it and all this type of things. Like, I'm just using that one thing for example. Sometimes we just hold on to things because we think that that is what we are supposed to do. And you don't, if it doesn't resonate with you, if it doesn't feel right with you, you don't have to settle down into anything that you don't feel good about doing. You can step outside of what your family has been doing for the past 50 years. I don't care if it's religion, a certain type of food, or whatever. You can step outside of those things and do things because it feels good to you. So your experiences in your life is what molds you, and no one has. We could go through the same thing. Like I've been divorced, you've been divorced, but it's much different. Your pain wasn't my pain. Your experience wasn't my experience. No two experiences are exactly the same. So if our experiences aren't the same, why are we doing things in the exact same way? Everybody smoking weed now. Everybody wake and bake, smoke weed. The way the weed makes you feel, where you puff pass, might feel different from how it makes the next person feel that you passing it to. It might make you feel good, and it might make them feel spaced out. And in all reality, they don't even want you to pass it to them. They would rather you pass it in the other direction, but they will hold their hand out and grab the blunt because that's what everybody else is doing. And if you say, no, I'm good, they gonna look at you like you crazy. Like, everybody else smoking weed, you don't want none of this weed? No, I don't. I don't like the way it makes me feel. Like when I was in my addiction, I used to be a drinker. I never liked weed. Not that I never smoked it before, but I don't like the way it smelled, and I don't like the way it made me feel. So I believe that certain people do certain things just because everybody else is doing it. And I don't think that that is ever a good reason to do anything because everybody else is doing it. There's no individuality in that. That is a sure way to lose yourself. You will lose everything that is you by doing something because everybody else is doing it. Like, you don't even like it. It doesn't even make you feel right. It doesn't even make you happy. When are we going to get back to doing things that we want to do because it makes us happy? So we have grown so far away from that. Embracing individuality is essential for personal happiness and always works in our favor. We want to be happy and we want things to work out for us in our favor. And if we are not happy and things are not working out for us in our favor, then maybe you need to take a quick look at yourself and think about it. Am I embracing who I am on the regular basis? Because this one thing may be getting in the way of my happiness. And if it's getting in the way of your happiness, you need to let go of trying to keep up with what everybody else is doing and learn how to do things that you know you want to do because these things make you happy. Do what makes you happy. I know you have heard it, a million and one times before. It is not cliche. It is not something to say just because you want to fill it in because you don't have nothing else to say. That is real. Do what makes you happy. Like, seriously, what makes your soul happy. And I feel like that's why so many people are soaking in sorrows and are not happy today because we are not getting in the habit of doing what makes us happy on the regular basis. Individuality is important. And it just is. I wrote that down as a simple 3-worded sentence because I did not want to forget to say that. Individuality is important. And I don't know if we realize the importance of individuality, but if you think about it, If you think about it, in the state that our world is in today, and a lot of things that you see a lot of people suffer through on the regular basis, you will see that there is no individuality and a lot of choices that a lot of people make on the regular basis. And that is one sure way to come in between you and your happiness. Individuality is very important. And I want us to realize that. Take a different route. Step outside of your comfort zone. Your greatest asset is you. And I did write that down as well. You are your greatest asset. Your individuality is your strength. You do not have to go the same way. You ever be in line and it's probably like multiple lines wherever you are, and some people just tend to gravitate towards the longest lines sometimes because we feel like, well, if that's where everyone else is, then that must be the right way to go because that's what everybody else is doing. We can do it in traffic. We can do it on the highway. If we see a short line, we think, I better not get in that short line because the shortest line may be the wrong line. And in all reality, if you jump over and get in that short line, is moving quicker and nobody is over there because that's the best way to go. Sometimes we can literally gravitate towards, as humans, as human beings, as in our nature, sometimes we can gravitate towards what everybody else is doing because we feel like because everybody else is doing it, it's the right way to go. And there's no truth in that. There's no truth in that. You could go a different way. You can take a different highway. You can take a different route. You don't have to go the way that everybody else is going. One of the quickest ways to get from my home to my job is one main highway that everyone that likes to take because it's a straight shot. It gets you anywhere from any part of Delaware and back, and everyone takes Route 13 to get everywhere to do everything. I don't. I love this sideway that I take, and it's so beautiful. It's so much open sky. I see the stars and the moon like slaps me right in my face. It may take me like 5 minutes, maybe 3.5 to 4 minutes out of longer to get to back and forth to work. Unless I'm running late, then I'll take the main route. But quite often I take the route that makes me happy. I see horses and cows that way sometimes. I see the open fields. It brings me abundance and prosperity and peace, and I breathe in and I listen to my music and I take my time. I don't even shoot down there. Even if I'm tired or if I'm in a rush going or coming or whatever, I take my time taking this side route because it nourishes my spirit in so many different ways. And even if I have other people in the car sometimes, a lot of people that ride with me, like my kids, they understand that I'm going to take this side way because that's just my preferred way because it makes me happy. But some people will say, why are you going this way? This way is longer. Why don't you just take the main route, Route 13? And I just don't. I do what pleases my spirit because it makes me happy. I'm not taking the main route because that's what everybody else is doing, because that is what's going to get them there quicker. It's not about getting me there quicker. It's about doing what I like to do to make me happy. And I have been taking this side route for quite some time now. I'm probably going to take it today. And it is just something that I have gotten in the habit of doing. And every time it pleases my spirit in a different way, and I get something out of it every time. It makes me happy when I do things like this for myself. So you don't want to just do something because it's the quickest thing to do or because everyone else is doing it. You can literally make the decision in your own mind to do things just because they make you happy. Do it for yourself. Your individuality is your strength. I'm so glad that I wrote that down, because just by me doing things like that, it makes me stronger. It makes me wiser. It allows me to take time out with myself and with God. Sometimes I don't turn on the music at all. I just ride through there in silence, and I get whatever my spirit needs in that moment. You have to gift yourself the things that you need in every given moment. It's not about doing what you need to do for everyone else. Sometimes if you could go out of your way and break your back to do whatever you need to do or want to do for everyone else, then you can go out of your way to do whatever you need or want to do for yourself. So that is one of my things. That is a thing with me. So being yourself is the best way to find success in life. Being yourself is one of the best ways to find success in life. When I was researching individuality last night, I came across a video on YouTube with Pharrell Williams. Very successful entrepreneur, producer. He is huge. I know all of us had to hear Pharrell Williams' name before. He was talking about the importance of his own individuality, and he named a whole list of very unique people in the rap game, in his field, people that just stand out because of their individuality. And he solely blamed the success on certain people on their individuality, even his own, like him not being scared to step out and be who he is uniquely as a individual. He says that is why he is as successful as he is, because of his own individuality. So I'm so glad that that I wrote that down. Is a sure way to find success by embracing your individuality. A lot of people don't want to find success in life. A lot of people don't care about being successful or making the most out of their life. This message just may not be for everybody. I know I want to get the most out of it, and I am one person who wants to find success in my life. And I know success, I believe I have found success in my life, and success can be found in different ways. It does not just mean financial gain. We can find success in many different ways in our life. So if you want to be successful at anything that you do, try doing it in a unique way. We're coming up with unique and creative ideas of doing things that is going to catapult you to the next level of your life, opposed to just doing things the way that everyone else is doing it. Why should I buy from you when somebody else is selling the same thing for cheaper? You doing the same exact thing, but somebody might spend that extra $2 or $3 to get yours just because the uniqueness that you bring with yours, because of your creativity, because of the way that your product or whatever you have to sell, the way that it makes them feel. It's a better experience when I get it from you just because of the hot sauce you put on it. And that's just the way that you want to add a little flavor or whatever to whatever that you are doing that's bland, that's plain, when you just doing something that everyone else is doing. There is no excitement in that. I love keeping things exciting and brand new for myself. I am one person that gets bored easy. I have to switch it up. I have to be creative. I have to be innovative. I have to try different things, because I'm going to get bored, and I'm not going to want to do it. So yeah, your uniqueness, where was I? Oh yeah, that is the greatest way to find success in life. Being yourself is the best way to find success in life. So try it. If you are one person who wants to find success in your life, try exploring your individuality and being as unique and creative as you can possibly be. So don't be afraid to be yourself. I'm going to throw something at y'all. And those of you who are on my live, if you know what these letters stand for, drop it in the comments. IDGAF. I'm not gonna say it because it does have curse words in it, or at least one, and I try to make a habit to not say curse words. I don't like how they sound coming out of my mouth. And I know a lot of people do say curse words, but IDGAF. And I'll give y'all a second if you want to drop it in the comments of what those letters stand for. But not caring what other people think is a superpower that will allow us to get what we really want out of life. Not caring what other people think is a superpower that will get us what we really want out of life. Not caring is a superpower. So I'm going to tell y'all what IDGAF stands for. I don't give a uck. I'm not going to say it, but that's what it stands for. And I thought it was very important for me to incorporate that in my life lesson this week, because sometimes you have to carry the I don't give a you know what CK about what everyone thinks. I believe that we put way too much emphasis on what people think of us. And it hinders us, because now we are doing things because of what, or not doing things because of what other people may think of us. And we have to release that thing that is holding us, that literally can be holding you down, because you are so worried about someone's perspective of you and their opinions of you, and what everybody else is doing and what somebody else is going to say and all of those type of things. Sometimes we really have to adopt the IDGAF attitude and carry it around with you. I'm not saying with everything, but as far as us always worrying about what people, this is your life. You cannot worry about what people are going to think about you all the time. What their opinions of you does not pay your bills. It just doesn't. And you are so worried about, quite often we are worried about how other people feel about us, and the people that you are worried about, how they feel about you, they are not happy. They are not where you are. You can even be in a better place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, however. And we are so worried about what other people think about us. So you have to think about that. Sometimes we have to think about embracing the IDGAF attitude and go ahead on with your life. Release the bondage of other people's opinion on you and what they might think about what you are going to do or have done or whatever. Everybody got opinions. That should not dictate where your life is or where your life is going in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Be who you are individually anyway, regardless of what other people think about you. Listen, I am just a mere suggestion. Try it. Try it. There is so much freedom in not caring about what other people think about you. You are free to do what really pleases you when you release the opinions of what other people might think about what you are doing. Try not caring at least once and see how that makes you feel. So, yes, not caring about what other people think is a superpower. And you can literally research that and look that up. There is so much power in not caring. So let your unique personality shine. Be bold. Be you. The lack of individuality makes a person forget about their potential as a human being. You will lose sight of your passions and fall short of realizing your true calling in life. Don't be afraid to stand out and be different. So everything that I said was just so important. We should never be afraid to stand out and be different. and you don't want to lack. I'm sure that there is, in a certain sense, and we want to keep it real, in a certain sense, there might be a certain lack of individuality amongst human beings for whatever reason. You society wise, they might make you, they might shut down a certain highway and make everybody go in a certain direction or whatever. But as far as you can control, don't be afraid to stand on your own individuality for the most part. For the most part, try hard to be individually who you are, because you will lose sight of your gifts, of your destiny, your purpose, why God created you, why you are even here on this earth. All of those things, you will lose sight of who you are and who God made you to be, because the lack of individuality. So you do not want to be that person. Please do not be afraid to stand out and be different. Make it a priority. Be who you are and say what you feel. Just say how you feel. If you don't like something, or if you don't want something, just say it. I don't like it. I don't want it. That is not my preference. That might be for someone else. That is not for me. Just say how you feel. Don't just embrace something because someone else wants you to, or because that's what someone else is doing. Say how you feel. That is just not me. That is not what makes me feel good. That is not what pleases my spirit. That is not who I am. That is not my practice. That is not my philosophy. That's not how I live my life. I don't believe in something because everyone else is believing in it. Religion, for instance. I believe religion serves purpose because it gives people guidance. I am not a believer in religion because I believe that religion is simply what it is. It's practices that were formed over the years. The very first religion ever was called hunter gatherers, and they made a whole religion out of hunter gatherers because that was their reality then. Now, that was thousands and thousands of years ago, when hunter-gatherers were the first religion, and the first religion all stemmed from emotions and feelings. Of course, you feel something down in your spirit that allows you to believe wherever you believe, for them to come up with this religion called hunter-gatherers. You can look this information up if you don't believe me, but I wrote a book called Religiously. So I looked into religion. There are over 4,000 religions. These are man-made religions, things that people just come up with and just decided to make their own religions. And you can make your own religion if you want to. I am not a huge fan of religions. I used to. I was born into two different religions. My father has always been an Islamic man. My mother was always a Christian woman. I did embrace two different religions as I grew up. I was very confused. But out of all the religions that exist even now today, and before we are no longer, there are probably going to be 4,000 more religions. But there is only one God. There are so many religions, but there is only one God. If there were 4,000 gods, this world would be a mess. We would be exploding in bombs and everything. We'll be bowing and jumping and doing it would be a mess of confusion. So I don't care who says what. There is only one God, and religion is simply what it is. And that is just religion. It's just religion. I know people feel really strongly about their religions and the things that they choose to believe in and all of those type of things. And by all means, do what pleases your spirit. Religion does bring a certain sense of structure to certain individuals, but me personally, I believe that me having a connection with my higher power is way more important than me showing off for a holy house or for a religion. And a lot of them live are totally different outside of their holy house than they live inside of their holy house. And I don't want that to be my reality. Like, you are saying one thing and you are not doing it. You are saying what your holy book says, but you don't apply these things to your life. As soon as something happens, you a mess. You snotting and slobbing and rolling around on the floor and crying and all those type of things. What happened to your faith and what happened to your belief? So I think it's important for me to sharpen my connection with God. I believe in God. I believe in an infinite intelligence that is way more higher than I can even wrap my mind around. But religion, personally, I'm not a huge fan of. I'm just not. And then they add so much and take so much in and out of these religions, and they just want you to believe what they believe in. And certain religions to think they have the right to tell people that they're going to hell. Like, how you know? You been there? Did you make it? Did you make hell? Did you make heaven? How? What gives certain people rights to tell someone how and when and where they are going in and out of heaven or hell? Like, you haven't been there just as well as I haven't been there. We won't even know until we cross the point of not existing in the physical flesh anymore. So a lot of people are scared to step outside of their religion because of things that they are taught as far as individuality is concerned. And I'm so glad that I am not afraid to form my own philosophy. And it took a long time for me to get to this point, to where I am as far as religion is concerned. This is me. This is my life. I don't owe anyone anything. I don't owe anyone an explanation or anything. I talk about religiously in my book. It's a really great book, and I break down a lot of these things in my book, but I don't have to explain to anyone about how I feel about religion. I chose as a individual to take my spiritual connection with my higher being and prioritize that above religion. My spiritual connection is way more important than me showing off for a religion. And that is just what a lot of people do so often. So yeah, I was not afraid to say that. And I don't care who feelings it hurt. It is what it is, and that's just how I feel. And I don't have to do what everyone else is doing just because everyone else is doing it. My mother and father were very religious people until the day that they were no more. I lost my mother and my father, and both of them, as long as I have lived, has always been religious people and has always taught me religion and always embedded religion in my brain. And I'm so glad that there was that sense of confusion, because it allowed me to form the opinion and the philosophy that I have on religion today. I needed that sense of confusion, and it allowed me to want to come up with my own conclusion because of the confusion. I'm like, wait a minute. How do I feel about religion? I want to form my own opinion on how I feel about religion. So even though it was uncomfortable a lot at the time, I'm calling God by two different names and I'm praying to two different gods, and I'm just feeling so convicted in my spirit because I feel like I'm doing it wrong. And who am I supposed to be praying to? And who is God really? God is who is inside of me. And that has nothing to do with religion. That is individuality. Not being afraid to step outside of what everyone else is doing and embracing who you truly are. I have relationship with God. I come into encounter with God every day on a regular basis. It does not make me any less of a human being in any way, shape, or form because I choose not to make religion a part of my daily being and who I am. It doesn't make anyone else more of a person because they go to their holy houses and dress a certain way and show how religious they are. It doesn't make their spiritual connection with their higher being uh uh better or whatever. I don't want to compare, but more powerful because they're showing it in a different way. I just choose not to make religion a part of my daily practice. I want to have a relationship with God, and I believe that that is very, very, very important. So, conquer any enemy inside of you that keeps you from being yourself. Be strong in who you are. Choose truth, justice, goodness, and love. Dare you. I dare you to choose these things, because a lot of times we can choose hate. We can choose things that are not so good. We can choose lies. We can choose injustices. We can boldly choose these things. We are coming up on election time. A lot of these politicians are going to get up here lying, and we're going to certain people that's going to believe everything that certain politicians are saying, even though they know that they are lying for whatever reason, because of their financial status or whatever. And we can embrace untruths. We can embrace lies. I dare you to step outside the lies and the injustices and embrace truth, justice, goodness, and love. That is being an individual. When you step outside of these things that has so sadly became normal, and be who you truly are. So individuality improves self-confidence, and we all want to be more confident within ourselves. So if you are one person who struggles with self-confidence, and you want to be more confident in the person that you are and who God has made you to be, then you might want to learn how to practice individualism in your life on the regular basis. When one person displays their individuality, it can spark change and motivation for others to do the same. I find that to be my reality so much on a regular basis, even with kids and people that I encounter every single day at work and all of those type of things. I am very unique, and it shows. It's so obvious, and people are comfortable with being around a person who is not afraid to embrace their uniqueness, and it encourages me to want to embrace my individuality even more when I see how comfortable other people allow themselves to be in their own skin, because they are in the presence of someone who is not afraid to be uniquely them. I can be a little ratchet, I can be a little ghetto, I'm very intelligent, I am very fun, I play too much. A lot of times I am not afraid to laugh and joke, and I just embrace who I am at every given moment. I don't want to tense myself up and make myself something that I'm not to make someone else happy. I am mindful of the words that I say and the thoughts that I think, and I don't want other people to be uncomfortable around me in my presence, but it sparks something in other people when you are not afraid to be who you are. So you can even think about the people in your life that are important to you, your children. You want your children to be able to embrace uniqueness. So whatever that means to you, on whatever level that relates to you, think about exploring your own uniqueness and how it may impact someone else's life. Each person has their own identity, needs, wishes, choices, beliefs, and values. No one is the same. And a lot of people keep their mouth shut about even how they feel, about their beliefs, about their values, what they believe in, and all of those things, just so they can fall in line and be accepted with what everyone else is doing. We are afraid of rejection and not being accepted if we form our own individual opinions on certain things. And even with not being accepted, and being rejected and being talked about and looked down and all those type of things because they did that anyway. So I choose to be an individual person and stand on my morals, stand on my values. If something is wrong, I am not afraid to say that is wrong on so many levels with you or with who. I don't care who it is. Wrong is wrong. My father always taught me, God rest his soul, that there is no right way to do the wrong thing. If you're doing something wrong, you are just doing something wrong. And we try to put a twist on it so often and try to make wrong look right for whatever reason because we don't want to go against what everyone else is doing. But the whole time, you know, in your heart and in your spirit and in your mind, and you feel the conviction, and God is tapping on your shoulder like, you know that's wrong. You won't even listen to God. Woo, child. Thank you. We won't even listen to the conviction of our higher being because we want to be accepted so badly. That's dangerous. That is dangerous. I cannot express to you the position that you are putting yourself in when you just do something or fall in line with doing something to be accepted. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. It can be at your workplace. It can be inside of your own bloodline. If something is wrong, then you need to be able to form your own justice about your own opinion and not be afraid because that lingers on to your to what type of person, to your integrity. Are you really that type of person? And in different situations and in different instances, you are going to think it's okay to be inhumane and injustice with different situations, different people, and all, and that is going to blow up in your face. If you don't learn how to serve justice, justice will not be served to you. So you can walk around trying to say that wrong is right all you want to until your lips fall off. But if you know it's wrong and you are not facing the reality of what's wrong is wrong, you will have to face your own judgment as far as that is concerned. And I don't want that to be my reality. I don't want that to be my reality. So that's why I choose to stand alone. And quite often I am completely alone in a lot of my morals and my values and the things that I believe in, that I know that is wrong. I stand on these things firmly, and oftentimes so many people come against me on these things, and I never budge. I have not budged over the years. To this very day, I still stand firm on what I believe in my heart is right and what is true. So each person, wait a minute, I want to make sure I am where I am. Whew, Lord, I thank God for using me in those moments. I felt like I really needed to say what had to be said in those moments, and I'm grateful for that. So each of us are remarkable creatures who has something different to offer to the world. And I don't think that we realize that. I don't care how much you look like your mama or how much you look like your daddy. You are not them and they are not you. You are your own individual, remarkable creature. And what you have to offer to the world may not look anything like what your mama and daddy taught you, told you, what they did, and all of those type of things. So it may be time for us to embrace our individuality. There's only ever one you. You cannot be replicated. You cannot be duplicated. A lot of times people think that they can be someone else because they don't want to embrace who they are as a individual. There will never be another you, ever. You are the only you that God is going to present to this earth in this time. No one else has ever been you, and no one else will ever be you. So why don't you embrace that on a whole new level? Embrace your individuality through things that you like and things that you are good at. So that is a good way. I say I'm throwing something. Listen, I'm giving y'all free game right now. You're welcome. I'm giving y'all some free game right now. You might as well just take it. I'm glad I said that too, because I want to introduce something that I am starting new at the end of this message. My game ain't gonna be so free all the time. But let me go ahead and finish with this message. Yeah, so the things that you are good at, you might be better at doing certain things better than anyone that you have ever met in your entire life. That is your gift. That is what God gave you when he brought you into this world. That is one sure way to explore your uniqueness, by looking at the things that you are good at. What you are good at is who you are. You do these things so gracefully. You can make money with your hands. You can do these things better than anybody in your family or anybody that you have ever known. So you might as well learn how to embrace these things and allow them to become you, because in all reality, it is who you are. Sometimes we can get caught up in life doing things that we are not good at, and that does not make us happy, just because it pays the bills, and we do whatever we have to do to earn a living and make our money. And not being engaged in a labor of love is one of the saddest places that someone can be in. Someone who just strictly gets up to make money to provide for themselves. That is a vicious cycle that we can get stuck in. We want to be able to do something that we have a passion for and that we love on the regular basis, outside of your 9 to 5, outside of you providing a living for yourself and for your family and for your children. And a lot of us so often are not happy with where our lives are, because we are not embracing our individuality and we are not doing things that truly makes us happy. So that gives you something to think about. What makes me happy? That's your thing. That's who you are as an individual. You probably can make money off of it. You probably can teach other people how to do it. Whatever. Embrace who you are by your gifts and your talents and the things that God has gifted you with when he created you. We all have them. So remember, your journey is not about conforming, but about discovering what brings you joy, satisfaction, and a sense of purpose. And I thought that was very, very important. It is not about conforming. It's not about conforming to the ways of the world or getting in where you fit in. You might not fit in, so you can get in somewhere else. It's okay to not fit in. It is absolutely okay. It does not make you any less of a person, any less of anything, just because you do not fit in with everyone else. You don't have to. It's not a must. It doesn't say that anywhere in any book or anything that says you must go and be where you fit in at. That is just not a rule. You don't have to fit in. You can create your own whatever that you have to create. No one should be put in a box and closed in a box and not be able to be free with who they are as an individual person. It takes so much away from you as a human being, period. As a human being, it takes away from you when you are not free to be who you are. So it's time for us to get to that. To get back to when you were in kindergarten, or when you were a child and you were not afraid before society began to beat certain things in your head and your family and all those type of things. When you were young, you were not afraid to be who you are. Get back to who you are and what you like to do and what pleases you in so many different ways. Explore parts of yourself that you probably haven't never even journeyed towards ever in your whole entire life. There is something inside of that is waiting for you, that is going to take you to a whole new level in your life when you are not afraid to explore your individuality and who you are. There's so much purpose in it. There's so much joy in it. There's peace in it. Do what you like to do. Do what pleases you. So that is how I ended this message. That was a roller coaster. I do have one affirmation and I have an affirmation and a quote. I'm sorry, I do have a quote and an affirmation, but I'm telling you, I needed that so much. And I don't know who out here needed to hear that message on individuality. The world is not made up in one big person. It is individual people who makes the world what it is today. So it's not one mass that creates person. It's individual people that makes a big mass of people. I don't think, as far as we know, is like what, 8 billion people on the planet Earth, as far as we know, or as far as we have discovered or did census or can count or whatever. There's so many individual people on in this world, and none of us are the same, and we all have the right to discover who we are and our uniqueness and us as a individual person outside of what people want us to be or what everyone else is doing or what we were taught to be, and all of those type things. There is room for us to grow more when we are not afraid to be who we are. There's so much life in it. There's so much living in it, and moving around and just feeling and being happy and joyful and all of those type of things, opposed to us being mounted to one thing. We get to live when we are not afraid to be individually who we are. So, whew, that was a lot. That was a lot, but I am so glad and so grateful that I was able to deliver that message on individuality. Shout out to y'all that is here on this live broadcast. I love y'all. God bless you. Thank you so much for being here and learning with me and growing with me. I see y'all. Big shout out to y'all. So my quote is from a man named Ralph Waldo Emerson, and this is what Mr. Emerson said. I believe that he was a great philosopher in the early 1800s, and he was a writer and a poet, and he made so many great accomplishments while he was here on this earth. Some of you might have heard his name before, Mr. Ralph Waldo Emerson. And he said, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. So that is an accomplishment, to be yourself in a world that is trying to change you. That is when you are really doing something with yourself, when you fight against everything that is supposed to be normal or whatever, when you fight against those things and you are not afraid to be yourself. That is a huge accomplishment. If you have never accomplished anything else and you want to be on the road to accomplishing things, if you want accomplishments to be a part of your daily living, if you want to start by accomplishing something so you can move on to accomplish and conquer more things, you can start with being yourself. That is a whole complete accomplishment when you learn how to stand out and be yourself. So one accomplishment makes room for more accomplishments. So try to accomplish that. That's simple. You don't have to pay for it. You don't have to go out here and look for it. It's all within inside of you. That is everything that you need. Everything that you need is inside of you. You don't have to go anywhere to look for it. You don't have to look in a book. You don't have to look on TV or inside your family study or ask questions or do research or anything. Everything that you need to be uniquely who you are is already embedded inside of you. And let me tell you something about life. When you look for something, when you are hungry and in search for something, you are sure to find that thing. I'm telling you, you are. It will come to you when you leave yourself open and available to make certain things your reality. It will become your reality. So be in search of who you really are outside of family norms, societal norms, religious norms, and all of those things, workplace norms, all of those type of things. Be yourself outside of who you are, quote unquote. I know y'all sick of my air quotes. Outside of what you are supposed to be. I'm telling you, there's living there. So this is my affirmation, and I want you to convince yourself of this. My affirmation is, I am powerful. And you are. You are more powerful than you give yourself credit to be. You are way more powerful than you even realize. There is so much power inside of you. I don't even think you realize how powerful you actually are. And to dig into the power and find the power that you carry inside of you, you are going to find that with being uniquely and individually who you are. So don't be afraid to let your light shine in everything that you do. Realize that everything is a choice, and the choice is clearly up to you. No one can make you. You have to make conscious decisions in your own mind how you want to live your life this day moving forward. So that is my message on individuality. I know y'all wasn't ready. I don't think I was ready. That was a lot. That was a lot for me. Thank you all so much. God bless you. I love you. I'm going to get ready to slide up on out of here. I got so much to do. Excuse me. I have so much to do, and I'm going to go ahead and move on with my day. But a lot of people have been in request and in need of individual one-on-one counseling. So I have decided to make that a part of my daily practice. This is something new that I am going to start doing. I will be opening up time slots and appointments where you can book and pay for individual time with me. I will do it via phone, and I will do it via Zoom if you want to talk face to face. And if you are in my area, we can arrange to meet up and do one-on-one face-to-face counseling in the time that you have paid for. That you have paid for it and selected, because a lot of times, listen, I don't mind. I love y'all, but sometimes I allow people to steal my time, and they get frustrated and aggravated when I can't give them my time. I have way too much on my plate to just give away my time. I just don't have the time. And on top of that, it is a proven fact that when you pay for something, you will value it more. Like today, I am giving you guys free advice. It is totally 100% up to you whether or not what you are going to do with this free advice. But I believe when we begin to pay for something, we will add more value to it. You will add more value to the advice that you have paid for. So I want to be effective. I have been doing life lessons and motivational messages for, I'm not going to say a very long time, because I am not that far into my journey. But I believe that one-on-one counseling is in need. A lot of people do need one-on-one counseling, and I believe that it will resonate with you on a deeper level, on deeper meaning, if you pay for it. So no, I am not going to have extremely high prices. But if you want individual counseling, I am going to put it on my social media platforms, how you can be able to reserve your spot with me if you want individual one-on-one counseling with me. But I just cannot afford to do it for free. It is time consuming, and some people have gotten aggravated and frustrated when I don't have time to respond to your issues or things that you want to talk to me about or whatever. If I can do it, then no problem. And sometimes I bend myself and I make time when I don't even have time, and y'all not paying me for that. Y'all not paying me for that. So listen, y'all gonna have to start paying. Listen, it is what it is. So I'm not gonna do a website yet, but this is something, an idea that I have been playing around with since last year, and I believe that the time is overdue for me to go ahead and put that out where you can reserve and book time with me if you want to talk with me individual. I'm going to start at a half an hour, 2 hour sessions, and you will be able to book 4 weeks in advance. You can pay 4 weeks in advance. You can book 4 weeks in advance. But I mean, of course, by all means, I will still be doing motivational messages. I will still be doing life lessons. But as far as individual counseling is concerned, I cannot do it for free anymore. I just can't. So I did want to put that out there. By Friday, I will be able to share more information with you so you can book that time if wanted or if needed. But in the meantime, y'all go out here and get over this hump, baby. Enjoy your Wednesday. Think about what individuality means to you. Just think about it. Allow some of these things to roll around in your mind. Where do I stand with individuality? Look at yourself completely. Look yourself in the mirror. Look into your own mind. Look at your experiences, the things that have been happening outside of you and around you, and all of those type of things. Look at where you are in life right now and ask yourself, is this message for me? Is this something that I really need to consider being on better levels with in my life? Do I need to explore my individuality a little more on the regular basis? Because I'm sick of myself. I'm sick of how I've been living, and I'm tired of doing things just because everybody else is doing it. What's for somebody else might not necessarily be for you. What works for someone else is not going to work for you. You are your own individual person. You have to figure out what works for you, what pleases you, what makes you happy. And that is the thing that you want to stick to. We don't have a whole bunch of lives. We ain't cats. We don't have 9 lives. If you allow yourself to spend the remainder of your life being miserable because you allow something to get in the way of your happiness, especially something like individualism and learning the power of individuality. You do not want that to stand in the way or in between you and your happiness or your purpose or your destiny. There is so much life for you to live, and you don't want to limit your living because you are afraid to go past a certain point, even in your own mind. Explore yourself, explore your individuality, and become comfortable and totally wrapped up and consumed with who you are. And do not be afraid to show these things to the world. It is what it is. You are who you are, whether people like it or not. So that's where I am. Like, listen, I can't speak for no one else and where you are in your journey in life, but I don't want to live. I want to live like it's my last. I want to enjoy. I want to be happy. I want to be free. I don't want a cap on it. I don't want a limit on it. I want to be as free as I can be. So Listen, that's just me. But anyway, if you have not yet going to True Value Knowing Your Worth on YouTube, please go like, share, and subscribe. I am up there on my subscribers. I am so grateful. Listen, shout out to YouTube. Y'all show me so much love on a regular basis. Shout out to Facebook. I get so much love on a regular basis. I have quite a bit of followers on my Facebook. I am so grateful for the people that support me on the regular basis. I don't even have time to think about those who don't, because I just feel the love. I do. I feel the love from those that do support me on the regular basis. I do not take those things lightly. My heart is truly grateful for everything that you do, every view, every like, every share, every subscriber, all my new subbies out there. Shout out to y'all. A lot of people have been subscribing to my YouTube channel, and without the support of other individuals, I would not think that it would be worth it, the things that I am doing. So obviously I am having an effect on people in different ways, and for that I am truly grateful. I'm so grateful for God using me in this way. Also, my books are available and on sale on at Amazon. You can buy your Kindle version, you can buy your paperback version, get it shipped straight to your house. I will autograph it and send it to you. My book, my first book, is also named True Value Knowing Your Worth. My second book is Walking Treasure, Discover Your Hidden Treasures. My third book is a book about health and wellness if you want to get on the journey to a healthier living, and that is called Feed Your Soul, Your Personal Guide to Health and Wellness. And my fourth book is called Religiously, and that is taking a closer look at spirituality and religion. So y'all go out here, support your girl, drop some comments, stars, hearts, likes, love, subscribe, buy a book or two, whatever. Like, your support is so greatly appreciated. I love y'all. I really do. God bless you. In the meantime, look out for more motivational videos. Look out for short videos. Look out for long videos. Lord willing, look out for life lessons. I will be here as long as God allows me to be willing and able to do these things on the regular basis. I will do what I believe in my heart that I am called to do. I'm all in at this point. So don't forget what I said about individuality, even if it was not everything. I know you're not going to remember everything that I said in these messages, but if one thing resonated to you, was something that you want to hold on to, something that might help you be more of individual, opposed to being a carbon copy, or doing something or acting in a way that everyone else is acting because we think that that is normal. You don't have to be normal. Be weird. Be weird. Be uniquely you. Embrace your weirdness. You don't have to be and do what everyone else is being and doing. It's okay to be you. The world needs you, not a copy of what everyone else is doing. The world needs your uniqueness, your flavor, your hot sauce, which you add to this world. It would not be the same without you being who you are. So let's try that. Let's explore that side of us, and let's do it fearlessly. Even if you are afraid, do it anyway. Even if you are uncomfortable, be uncomfortable until you are not uncomfortable anymore. You have to be uncomfortable sometimes before you can get to the level to where you are comfortable. Do it anyway.